Showdown has a lot of problems like teaming when trading brawlers like Cordelius who are really good because of the Shadow Realm. What caused all of these things to start happening? Well, to find it out, let's dive into the history of Showdown. On June 15, 2017, the beginning of beta Solo Showdown was released. There's a few differences with the boost of the power cubes. They used to boost health by 10% and also power cube boxes used to not be able to be destroyed by smoke. Now, this game did have teaming for at least a few weeks, but of course teaming and win trading happened pretty quickly. So on July 3rd, they made players' names hidden over 600 trophies. A month later, on August 11th, they changed the health boost from the power cubes, so instead of 10%, it straight out boosts the brawler's health by 400 and higher the damage boost from 10% to 15%. These changes ended up balancing the boost of the power cubes, but there's still other things that need to be balanced out. So a month later, they made the smoke deal damage to power cubes. A year later, on March 9, 2018, they added shields that make brawlers invincible when respawning. 2 months later, on May 21, 2018, they ended up adding Duo Showdown into the game. Now, Duo Showdown had a few small problems to balance out, like the amount of times it takes to respawn, and some huge similar problems to Solo Showdown. You see, there's still teaming and win trading in this mode. It's less common since you have to go way higher to Solo Showdown trophies, so this was actually a huge problem. Also on the same day with Solo Showdown, they added so now name starts getting replaced with 3 question marks above 300 trophies. A month later, on June 19, they fixed several bugs in Solo Showdown that caused your screen to go red after a match. And with Duo Showdown, they made it separated from Solo, so now there's 2 separate buttons to press. Added Team Showdown ended message to appear in the chat after a match, and players' victories were tracked down in your profile picture. Another 3 months passed by, giving Solo Showdown another new change. On September 27th, they changed so players automatically spectate after dying. Also, modifiers were added to the game, with the Angry Robot, Meteor, Energy Drink, which used to be called Supercharged, and Vampire modifier, which was basically Graveyard Shift. Vampire eventually stopped being rotation. Anyways, modifiers were added to try to prevent teaming from happening. It was kinda effective, but the amount of teaming was pretty high still. So another 3 months passed by, leading to December 7th, they adjusted the respawn time, so now it fits more accurately, now counting the delays to amount of time. They also added the healing mushroom modifier, but once again it didn't help out. And this was also near when Brawl Stars went global, which severely higher the amount of teaming. So it's more common than ever before, and Supercells need to act. So going into 2019 on January 29th, they changed so in Solo Showdown that players above 300 trophies are no longer question mark, and instead just blank. Also now the smoke has 2 seconds delay when moving. Also, respawn time in Duo Showdown was increased by 2 seconds. A month later, on February 27th, they decreased the amount of healing mushroom spawning, and in Duo Showdown, they fixed a bug where the timer doesn't appear when your teammate dies when your respawn animation is going on. 2 months later, on May 7th, 2020, they decided to make a few changes to modifiers. So now Meteor will most likely spawn in a group of players, and healing mushrooms and energy drink will not spawn in areas with a lot of players. So this did help improve the situation with teaming and Showdown, but it wasn't really enough. For the next few months, Showdown didn't really receive any changes, until on September 5, power cube boxes were officially changed to fit the Moon Festival event going on, and melee hit effects are now shown when attacking a box. Later that month, on the 16th, an issue was fixed for Duo Showdown Edge Screen Issue D, which I have no clue what this is even, so also fixed the question mark player name display issues. Also a day later, a issue was fixed for friendly battles where it displayed the wrong name for the 10th bot in duos, and that's the final change Duo Showdown received. So let's see how Solo Showdown does for the rest of the years. Another day passed by, the max amount of power cubes that are able to be dropped went to 5. A month later, they added a brand new limited modifier, Graveyard Shift, and this modifier was heavily based on the old modifier Vampire. But maybe 2020 is the year. On April 7, 2020, they changed so that the Meteor does not focus on a brawler early in the match. Also, the smoke after the 5th consecutive hit, the smoke damage will start hitting you by 300 damage per additional tick. 7 days later, they fixed the issue where it caused the box's shadow to still be there after being destroyed. A month later, on May 13, they fixed the crash that happens when several dynamites activate Fidget Spinner at the same time. Also, Jackie's super charge rate no longer increased after collecting power cubes. On August, they added Showdown Plus, where you can earn extra trophies for every extra kill you get. But of course, this game mode didn't prevent teaming, because it was still everywhere in this mode, and it will probably never return back. 4 months later, on September 10th, the energy drink damage was reduced from 200% increased to 100%. Also, the Angry Boss and Power Cube boxes now base their health based on the average power level in the match. A month later, on October 22, Solo Showdown was added to map major. Going into 2021 on the 27th of January, auto aim will prioritize now on attacking enemies instead of power cubes. On June 16th, they changed so that the smoke damage now take an effect when the player went into the smoke individually. Going to 2022 with only one change on June 26th, the power cube and poison gas visual effects were reworked. Also in this month, there's a Daredevil challenge where you can win this limited spray. 2 months later, somewhere around August 15th, there's the Solo Showdown challenge, and also there's the Duo Showdown challenge this month. Both of these challenges ended up coming back this year. And now going to the current year of 2023. On February 27th, they added Ultimate Showdown where you can't heal unless you collect hot dogs. This of course did not solve teaming. 2 months later on April 7th, the egg bonfire was added where you can earn rewards while collecting eggs randomly spawned. And the final change on April 25th, the poison gas damage now scales on the percentage of a brawler's health. And that's the complete history of Showdown. If you ended enjoying, make sure to subscribe and I'll see you in the next video.